Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for Stones of Light by Zack Argyle. This is the second book in the Threadlight Trilogy. It's a high fantasy, an epic fantasy, military fantasy a little bit, and this is a self-published book. Basically the same things as I just said for the first book, which is Voice of War. So, Stones of Light is book 2 in the Threadlight Trilogy by Zack Argyle, and it picks up where we left off in book 1. All of our characters are in pretty drastically different places than they were, or than where they started out in book 1 obviously, and we are finally able to take a step away from Chris's spotlight to some degree, and that allows for these other characters to shine a little bit. Again, there's a lot about this series that I really love, and in this book you actually get to see what the epic fantasy series is that's being set up, and then you see how book 1 ties into all of that. And that's really good. That's good storytelling is what it is. And I enjoy seeing that. Before I continue on with this review though, I just quickly like to say if you're liking what you're seeing from an Erudite adventure, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. So due to the events of the last book, there's a bit of separation that's happening now, and what that does is it allows us to see those other characters come to the forefront and tell their own stories. This is what I mentioned with stepping away from Chris's spotlight a little bit. Throughout the book, Alvarax becomes one of my favorite characters in the series, maybe my favorite character in the series. Laurel changes so much that though she's still a good character, that the good character as in a well-written character, I don't like her as a person anymore, and that's really interesting to have that character that I really did like quite a bit. I could see her flaws and I could see her issues in book 1, but then in book 2, I'm now starting to not like her as much. It's a character progression that you can actually see starting, and so it's a believable character progression, but it's also just interesting to me. And then even Chris no longer has control. He's forced to stop and think about who it is that he needs to be. And that's a really interesting story that's being told there, because it is so character focused. It becomes basically a character study for Chris, and I like seeing that as well. The separation is hard though. It's frustrating because you know how the story should be happening and you know how relationships should be developing, but they can't. As the separation starts to be resolved, the story just gets bigger and bigger, and we do finally see these threads of a great story unfolding. Great meaning grand in this instance, not being really good. Stones of Light took the things that I thought were really good about book 1 and then improved upon them. And yes, the magic system and the relationships are still what makes this series great. What could be viewed as a relatively simple fantasy series becomes so much more as you witness the depth of these characters and the lengths that they are willing to go to accomplish their goals. I think that this is an excellent continuation to the series, and I'm excited to talk about the third book very soon. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We are posting videos every Monday and Thursday, and our social media is linked in the description down below. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.